Thank you so much for joining me today on Coffee With. We have another familiar face to you, Larry Gawronski. Larry, you are the Executive Director of Vicksburg Convention Center and Auditorium.
Very good.
Did I get that right?
Yes.
And I can pronounce your last name.
You get to move on to the lightning round now.
The lightning
I'm not
round.
mic'd, you know.
Yeah, you are. It's right there.
Oh.
How about that? I'm just glad you have enough to say that you feel like people should hear you.
Internet TV. Hello.
Hello.
Voices in my head that keep telling
Get
me
Smart
what to do.
is here.
What? Okay, thank you.
Pretty sure you're going to be talking. Pretty soon you're going to be talking into your shoe.
I do that already.
And there's some people watching this that are too young to have no clue what I'm talking about.
They thought Maxwell Smart was crazy, and
That's
he
right.
talked to his shoe.
Right.
You know, and now we all do.
That's right. And in
we
our
call
sleeves.
them smartphones.
Smart shoes.
Exactly.
Okay. Down to business.
All right.
Although this was a lot more fun.
Well, you know, it's funny. You established that I manage two facilities. When the convention center opened in '97, I was hired in '95 to begin its marketing. And I always thought that the first thing that you should do is put a face on a facility. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but
You were the face?
I was the face.
What did they have to pay for your face?
It's very expensive.
And you can take that however you want it. So
I had to pay a lot.
this is harder than interviewing David Day.
Exactly. I invented Facebook, like Al Gore invented the internet. Only I get no credit for it.
He didn't either.
Exactly. So we have something in common.
That's right.
There we go.
Okay, here we go.
And I'm really drinking coffee, just so you know.
You're implying that I'm not.
You haven't sipped yet. Now you're drinking. Now you're drinking your coffee. Thank you.
It's clear coffee.
All right, good.
And for those who think that it's anything but water, it's just water.
Okay.
It's just water. It's the middle of the afternoon.
I believe you. Sure we do.
At least if nobody else is entertained by this interview, you and I are.
Exactly. I think we should entertain ourselves.
That's right. Chris is mildly
Our
entertained.
producer, director, cameraman, he loves it.
That's right. That's right. Okay, let's talk about the convention center and the auditorium. Now, you are an employee, or you're a contract employee. What's that whole structure
I'm an employee
there?
of a company called Venue Works, and Venue Works has been contracting to manage the facilities for the city of Vicksburg since April of 2001. So we're heading into our 10th year and on our way to renewal for many more.
Wonderful. And how long have you and Diane been in Vicksburg?
Well, ironically, I took the job as an employee of the Vicksburg Convention and Visitors Bureau back in August of 1995, when the convention center was moving dirt, and it was literally the hill that the building sits on now. And in 1997, when it opened, we had a full set of books. I had a lot of things going on, and I had a wonderful offer to manage a facility up in Omaha, Nebraska, and also be a seasonal part of the College World Series.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't turn it down, but when I did, Diane and I both had heart pains about leaving the city that we've adopted and adopted us, and for 4 years we had a hole that could not be filled. Fast forward, it's now 2001, around the same time, April, and I'm coming back, Diana's coming back, and ironically we both got our same jobs back, her at the hospital, I at the convention center and auditorium.
I did not know that, Larry.
Yeah.
That is pretty interesting.
And now you know the rest of the story.
We're dating ourselves with the whole speaking into the phone.
I know. I don't have any new things.
I don't either, because those things were funny.
Okay, well, we'll make our own new ones.
Even though there was no technology back then, it was funny stuff.
It was great stuff.
It really was.
Good journalism is good journalism.
Yeah. And funny stuff is funny, you know? I mean, I remember Red Skelton and Clem Cadiddlehopper and thought that was funny.
True story, he played my building, I remember these dates, April 30th, 1988. And I was in Danville, Illinois, and I have a picture that I could show you. Of course, I didn't bring it. And he played the building, but he arrived in town 2 days before. And he does this everywhere he plays. He generates publicity. He goes shopping. At the time it was Kmart. Big hubbub. And he came and he bought film and he bought chocolate and he bought a mop for the show. And he generates all this great publicity. And then he tells everybody at the press conference the day before why he does that. He sells tickets that way, generates a lot of buzz, and he said, and I always buy my candy and my film from Walmart because it's fresh, because they sell a lot of it. So I know it's good stuff. Then he pulls out his video camera and he proceeds to take video of everybody. And he says, please say hi, and wave. This is for my wife. I send her a video every night so that she can see the next day where I'm at, the nice people that I'm meeting. And he was such a sweetheart.
Well, it sounds very genuine.
He was great. He couldn't do the pratfalls that he could when he was younger because his knees, but he still did the Gertrude, Heathcliff, Clem Diddlehopper, everything. And then afterwards, we sat just like this, and he's sitting, now you have to picture this, one of those old man hats, a trench coat, completely covering a sweatsuit that he had changed into, got out of his tuxedo, sneakers, he had a big fat stogie in his hand, and a bottle of Heineken. And he proceeds to give me notes about this light was too bright, take to this color, giving me all these old theatrical notes. And, like he's coming back tomorrow and I can take care of this. And if he would, I would have. And I'm sitting here and to myself, I'm thinking, this icon of film and TV
and comedy,
is sitting and giving me his time and talking to me. And I just loved it. So
a wonderful memory.
Yeah.
Okay, I totally lost my train of thought, but that was really interesting.
Well, I tend to do that. I tend to take you off the tangent, into
It's not hard. It's not hard to derail me.
It's
really
because of
not
that clear water.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the convention center. Tell me about some upcoming events.
Well, we've got a lot of things going. The convention center auditorium, two completely different buildings, but very compatible in the fact that one is primarily booking meetings, banquets, conventions, conferences. Its booking priority, if you will, is to try to get outside business that generates overnight hotel rooms, because that's an economic generator.
Sure.
The city knew that building was going to be a loss leader, and it had to be the catalyst by which other businesses made money. Mm-hmm. If the hotels, the restaurants, the tourist attractions, even the convenience stores all could get healthier because of literally the people we were bringing in, then that's good. The auditorium has always been the staple for local and homegrown events. It's been the cost-cutting alternative. It has an open catering policy where the convention center, with nearly $1.5 million worth of capital equipment invested in food service, has to have a single caterer in order to maintain integrity, responsibility, and accountability. So we've got something for everybody. But yet, even though the auditorium is for local bookings, we've got a major league concert that's coming up in mid-October. And all I can tell you is it's fabulous. You're going to want to write the date down of Tuesday, October 11th. It's a classic rock artist. It's an evening with. It's an acoustical setting. And all I can tell you is you're going to love him. Enough said.
And I know who it is.
Well, I teased that to you off the air, and we can't say anything by contract because the promoter out of New Orleans has yet to finalize all the cities and wants to announce them all at once. So we'll be...
That'll be coming soon, though.
But it's funny because I just talked to him the other day, the agent, not the act, and he was saying that they had booked Joplin, Missouri, and they had booked Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He said, and you had a flood, and he wasn't making fun. He says, it seems like they're going to all the recovery cities.
Yeah, it does.
And I said, maybe we can
Maybe we need some relief.
And, well, maybe we can do something that ties in with, some kind of relief. And I think he said, stranger things have happened, but makes sense, and maybe we can, because in all reality, when things are tough and when the chips are down, it seems that entertainment, escapism, seems to be the thing that people need.
Of course.
And,
that's what I meant when I said relief.
Yeah.
We need a break from all the serious stuff that's going on in our lives.
Yeah.
Y'all do a great job getting some things booked. I wanted to tell you, 2 years ago, I qualified for a trip through my business and went to Vienna, Austria. And I knew about a year ahead of time that I was going, and I was so excited because there were three things I wanted to be sure and do while I was in Vienna. I wanted to go to the opera, I wanted to hear the Vienna Boy Choir, and I wanted to go see the Lipizzaner Stallions. Mm-hmm. I say Staniels, and that's not even really a word.
Okay. Well, it's because of that water.
Okay, thank you. People will never believe that I'm really drinking water. Okay, stallions. Right, the white stallions.
Right. And we did it on Super Bowl Sunday.
So we get over to Vienna. We're there when the boy choir's on hiatus and the opera. Oh, we're there when everybody's on vacation.
And the Stallions were in the States touring or what?
Yeah, they were in the States touring. Didn't get to see them. So we come home, and literally like 2 weeks later, they're here.
1 out of 3 we were.
And I went. It was fabulous.
Well, I'm going to have to work on the Vienna Boys Choir then.
Please do.
See if I can get that.
Now, if you get the Vienna Opera, I'll be really... I'll be impressed.
That might be a little stretch, but we'll work on it.
Okay, do that.
Making the impossible possible, right?
But I remember at that performance, the guy was saying that they like to do small venues, and it was fascinating to me. I wish you could get them back.
Well, they talk about the performers, the Stallions themselves as people, because they literally are very important. They're very intelligent animals. They obviously can do maneuvers that not many animals can do, and they love an audience, and they love to be close.
And we were.
Yeah.
I mean, really, sometimes I had to lean back a little. I thought something might accidentally hit me in the face.
Well,
and I don't mean their tail.
Well, exactly. Well, they talk about, like, where were you when it hit the fan?
Yeah.
I always like to say I was plugging it in. So I was out of the line of fire.
Are there some events you have scheduled that you can talk about?
Well, again, at the convention center, it's mainly conventions. We have a very busy, we're talking, in case this is replayed at several times, it was in June, and we've got a full month, not a day open for the books. Right now we've got the 412th Engineers at the Mississippi Warfighters Conference. It's funny, but sitting right out of camera range is the head honcho of the Miss Mississippi Corporation.
I'm getting ready to interview him.
And the Miss Mississippi Pageant, and of course that is always an annual premier event. This year it moves in on Sunday, and that's technically, and then it will actually have preliminaries at the end of June, ending in the final televised finals on Saturday, July 2nd. That's always huge.
It is huge, and it's packed.
Yeah, and we hope that we're able to tie up a Sesame Street for the kids this fall. In this day and age, they want a better deal. We're trying to give away the house, we're not give away the farm. Trying to and work for maybe some Coca-Cola or popcorn we can sell and give the kids a great show. We hope that may be tying up, and then of course we've got a great relationship that seems to be blossoming with the new casino, the revamped, if you will, Grand Station, formerly the Horizon. The very pro-marketing, pro-hospitality folks, and they'd like to do a lot of entertainment. We've talked about a comedian coming in, and again, I can't mention the name because they don't have the contract yet. Maybe some rock and roll, some southern fried rock, some country, and it's going to be good. But we're known for and loved for the public events that we do, but our bread and butter for our city and for our stakeholders are the meetings and conventions, because they all get economically healthier.
Well, and we're in such a great spot to host those kind of events because we're centrally located. We're on I-20. I mean, we have a lot of hotel rooms that are, for a small town, we have a lot of hotel rooms. And there's lots of reasons for people to come here and book a convention.
Absolutely. And we should be a music center. I mean, here we are on, literally on Highway 61, Blues Alley, as they call it, from Memphis to New Orleans. We're also on I-20, which, as far as I'm concerned, is the road that all the major acts are taking as they bus from Dallas to Atlanta, or from Memphis to New Orleans. They're coming to 61. And I think if we have Blues Alley, and maybe we renamed with the state I-20 the Music Corridor, everything converges
in Vicksburg
at the V.
That's right.
61 and 20.
Hey, that's good. You should copyright that or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Call it in on your sheet.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about you and Diane, because I know y'all travel a lot.
We do.
Y'all take one big trip a year, don't you?
We try to. This year we're going to take a couple of them, little jaunts. And this year it's back to domestic. We're doing Orlando. We love Disney World. We were married in 1979, and our honeymoon was in Orlando and Disney World. I think we've been back 35, 40 times in our,
oh my gosh,
in our 32 years.
I used to live there. I worked in the hospital just right, like 10 minutes from Disney
See?
World. Yeah, I mean, like you could have been in the hospital there and didn't even...
If I had a need to, I probably would have run into you.
Probably so.
But for the past 4 or 5 years, we've actually traveled internationally. We did a cruise in January, and we went to San Juan and points, the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. But the year before and years prior, we've been to London, been to Paris.
Didn't y'all go to Ireland one year?
We did to Dublin 2 years ago.
That's what I thought.
And
it seems like I ran into you on the airport or something. I remember seeing you and Diane in an airport, probably in Atlanta or something.
Yeah, I've run into a lot. Well, Atlanta's a hub for Delta. So.
And I think y'all were on your way to Ireland. I don't know where I was going, but I think that's when I was going to Vienna. I think I ran into you on the airport in Atlanta.
Vienna and Dublin.
Yeah, how about that?
Vienna waits for you, you know. Billy Joel wrote a song about it.
Yeah, I've heard of Billy Joel.
Me too, another throwback. Who's that? He must be an old performer. No, but in London, Paris, Venice, it was great.
Yeah.
Not only did we go to Venice, but we hopped one of those little boats and scooted out to Murano Island.
Oh, wow.
And looked at the Murano glass factory.
How fabulous.
Watched him blow glass, and then purchased a piece, and then they couldn't give us the piece he blew that day because it was about 10,000 degrees.
Right.
And takes a few days to cool down and whatnot. But he blew a mold of a stallion that was with its haunches in the air, and we got that piece and a nice beautiful bowl. Got a piece of why is the name of the crystal escaping me in Dublin? Whatever the name is, we brought a piece back there, and so we try to take a little piece back with us, but we always leave a piece of ourselves overseas, and we just love it. Theater is great in London, by the way.
It is.
The West End.
Yes. Let me think. I saw The Lion King in London.
We saw Mary Poppins. We sat in the front row. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, wow.
We went to see Wicked, and Idina Menzel, who had won the Tony the year before as Elphaba, the Wicked Witch, in New York, was playing the part in London. We were like, and we were in the first row of the mezzanine, so we were like up and
looking down.
Oh, it was great.
We wanted to see Wicked, but we had not bought tickets ahead of time. And of course, there's no just walking in and buying tickets for that.
We went to see a show that Kevin Spacey was in, and he is the artistic director of the Old Vic Theater, and it was called Moon for the Misbegotten, and it was a wonderful play. But we love live theater. We met doing theater.
Did y'all?
Yeah.
Where?
In Buffalo, New York. We're both from Buffalo. And Diane had been the queen, the diva of dinner theater with a very famous company in the Buffalo area, and I had muddled around in several different paid productions. Long story short, we were doing the musical Dames at Sea, and the lead, the female lead, contracted the crud. Literally the week before we opened, the director recruited Diane. She learned the entire show, script, dancing, costumes, everything in a week. We opened up on Mother's Day in May of '78. We were engaged in July, and we were married February of '79.
Oh my goodness! Well, that was a whirlwind.
Yeah.
And y'all are involved in local theater here, aren't you?
Well, we went in our first tour of Vicksburg back between '95 and '97. Diane and I did a show at the Vicksburg Theater Guild called Noises Off, and Diane was the lead, the comic lead. The movie that was remade starred Carol Burnett, and that's the part that Diane played. And then most recently, when we've been back, Diane is kind of taken. She said, "I'm retired for now," until she retires from work, and then you'll see her in, maybe the stage, screen, radio, TV.
Who knows?
We don't know exactly. But
she stays really busy, I know.
I did Tuesdays with Maury just this past December of 2011, and it was
2010. Yeah,
that's right, 2010.
Right.
Hello.
That's okay. We knew what you meant. Yeah.
A little bit of your water.
No, I think you mean more caffeine. Well, is there anything? Thank you.
I see that.
Is there anything I haven't asked you that you want to be sure and talk about?
Oh, I don't know if there's anything else. People that know us know that I don't take myself too seriously, but I take my job very seriously. And I think Vicksburg is a great place to live, a wonderful place to work, and if you can make a difference, in whatever you say or do, it really is a difference maker. And I hope that I am and that we are, Diane and I, and we hope to be around for many, many, many more years.
We hope you are too. Now, before we go, well, first I want to say thank you so much for joining me today.
Do I have to say
on Coffee
I am
With?
not smarter than a fifth grader?
No, I want
not the show?
I want you to do the little pop thing again.
Oh.
And if you don't, we're just going to edit it in, so you may as well just go ahead and do it. Thanks, Larry.
Promotional consideration provided by
Amber Sanders from Happy Hair. Get your hair happy at 3402 Wisconsin Avenue.